Inside Thursday night, how's it going? Alright, strip back, good crack, multi-trade podcast. Share the knowledge you know, help to make our sector grow. Everybody's learning from experts and the journeymen. Insights.
Right, we're back. Season 7, Episode 8. I'm Stephen Buckley.
I'm Keith Delahan.
And this is Insight, the Stripped Back podcast. Sponsored by Robust Lighting, the world's leading LED lighting company.
And also in association with Snickers, Workwear Ireland and Velocity ProGear.
And later on this episode, we've got Wayne Ahearn joining us for the special guest interview segment. He is the founder and creator of Apprentice Ireland. So very prominent stories in the news at the minute about the electrical and pretty much all apprenticeships within Ireland and the state of it right now. So really looking forward to deep diving into what Wayne has provided for those apprentices to try and make things a bit easier for them. So looking forward to that.
No, 100%. Really looking forward to that. But before that, me and you are going to go into a little deep dive of our own on the Overload segment. Do what we do best and talk shit.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Let's go for it.
This podcast is coming to you from the Robust headquarters in Dublin, Ireland.
Robust are the world's leading LED lighting company.
So make sure you head over and download the My Robust app and see what they have on offer. Right, back again. Another Overload segment. How's your week been?
Week has been busy, and I'd nearly assume yours was busy as well because I haven't spoken to you since like last Thursday. So it's always a sign that we're really busy. And then just judging by the look of you and the look of me, we're very dishevelled. So it just shows that we're busy in work and busy on sites.
Sent you a picture earlier on of myself. I was crawling across a generator in a plant room today, fitting bulkheads above them. You can tell dust has made its way from the top of the generator onto me. So generator's looking clean anyway, and I'm looking...
Yeah, it looked like Casper there, the friendly ghost there, when you sent me the video earlier on. But you go out with great intentions not to get dirty during the day, but look, you can't help it. You gotta get done, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well look, like I said even before on a few episodes, getting the attic done at home. Yeah. And I had some amount of respect for, anybody that's doing attic work in any time of the year when it comes to insulation and the likes, but just with the extra heat this week of just absolutely melting. But got to the other end of it, attic wired up, lights in, shout out to Robust, providing me with the Triumphs. Yeah. Brilliant, turned out well. Two-way lighting in the attic now, so the daughter will be going up there now for the bedroom and she'll be able to turn the lights off now from the bed, so making her that little bit more lazy.
What's the story with the Triumph? So I know I use the Ultimates nearly on a daily basis, so obviously that's one standard of downlight that they sell, but then you've got the Triumphs. What's the main differences?
Well, they're obviously fire rated,
so
perfect for that type of install.
Yeah.
Really slim and compact as well. So the depth on the back end of them going up into the void or up into the ceiling is really nice and sleek. So you can pretty much fit them into any position.
Handy for, I suppose, energy efficiency as well. Like you're not impeding on the insulation as much as with the other ones. Plus you're fire rated there as well. So
and you get the choice then as well of the 4 watt, 6 watt. So it gives you the choice of the output and CCT as well. Like
most of them as well, it's probably IP rated as well. So for use in bathrooms, maybe not just over the shower.
But even like that, like basic, 3K, 4K, 5K as well with it.
And slim profile, white bezel, I presume, is it?
Yeah, so I think they can get 3 colour choices with them as well.
Yeah.
So turned out well anyway with that install. And
what did you go for sockets and switchgear? Did you do anything fancy or did you?
No, nothing fancy. No,
just basic for now until the paint gets done.
Basic just for now until I can figure out what's needed. Obviously up there, basic MK gone in, curved yeah, that's just it. You don't really know what the room's going to be utilised for.
Yeah.
Do you need USB and stuff like that, like for charging and all that type of stuff? So
And you don't know whether you're painting yourself, so
yeah, well,
you don't have noise switches in if you're going after painting.
Yeah.
I know when I'm painting anyway, it's half the switches get painted as well. So
yeah, nice cream switches. But no, it turned out well. I'm happy enough with it. Like that. Your house is it's a never ending project. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
always something else to do. But shout out to Ian Power. It's an absolutely brilliant turnaround on the attic conversion. So
did he hit the deadlines? I think he would have been bar maybe one.
Just a couple of things that out of his control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And like that as well. It's something that you want your contractor to be looking out for. Like, so they're getting the right guys in, looking at the job that needs to be done, and spotting issues with it, and then highlighting the issues to you, and then
offering the solution.
Obviously, at an extra cost, obviously, but stuff that needs to be done. And when you go up, and if you have any type of trade background, you can sort of gauge,
he's spot on there.
Spot on there. Like, so
did you think you had enough? Did you think you had that space in your attic?
Do you know what? Like, it's one of those where they can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Just on the basis of when you pop your head up in and you've got the attic full of crap. When you've got space, it's space to fill, and you use it for hoard and stuff. So it's a job in itself when you're crawling through boxes and all that type of stuff that you think you're fairly enclosed in it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, like, there's going to be furniture to go in, just a bed and a wardrobe being built and stuff. But to utilise a space like that, I would recommend it to anybody if they have the space to do it.
Probably streamline the hoarding as well. You probably get rid of things that you haven't used in years, like, as well. So just that part.
Yeah, that's it. Like, it's fairly it's a good feeling when you're filling that skip up. You know what I mean? And you're looking at that thing that you've climbed across God knows how many times. You know what I mean? You said you'll use it again. That Xbox you said that you'll use again. You know what I mean? But
yeah, to do a job on my own now. There's a lot of crap up in the attic. Thoughts of it.
Yeah, we've finished this one. Obviously, the original plan was Denise, pregnant, baby due again now in October. The original plan was Ian was going to do it in October. Right. So, albeit brilliant turnaround, lads he has working for them. Really good lads. Come in, clean up after them, put all the protective stuff down the stairs as well. That's wipeable and cleanable.
Yeah.
So very limited amount of dust, obviously, to the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
And even though it's still your house being upended.
Yeah.
So to think that now has been done prior to October is such a relief.
What's Ian calling himself? He's just...
It's just IT Power. He's on Instagram there. He's putting a lot of content up now, like, that's fairly straight to the point. They'll show the before and afters of it, which is good as well. But he's doing it the opposite way. He'll show you his work first, and he'll work her way through, and he'll say, "Look what I've done here," and he'll show you the before at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a different sort of concept to it, but like that, it's stuff that myself and yourself, like, albeit fairly like handy, like with any type of tools. Like, I was showing him, like, I could do a bit there myself, like, but there's a point where you pay lads to do the job properly. Get them in, like, so. Now, fair play to them. We'll probably get them on the podcast now at some stage. Like,
it'd be good, because we haven't had anyone in that's doing those conversion jobs. Like,
bit of carpentry.
There's a lot in it, yeah. But other than that, how's your week been?
Just trying to get from one end of the week to the other. Broken up in between a couple of projects on. That's kept me on the same sort of site, like, for a couple of days.
Yeah. Nice for a change.
Yeah, and then broken up then midweek. Obviously, I said to you before, there was the company I work in, Mighty, like, they're always sort of trying to look out for the safety and QHSE in regards to their employees, like, and always looking out for them. So what they do is they do in-house training that you have to do when you first join the company anyway, which is fairly standard, like, you know what I mean, to make sure that their lads are covered in regards to use of ladders and stuff, and then they'll have everything pretty much right down to your manual handling, and then more technical stuff for any of the technicians and electricians and engineers. So they'll do a bit of LV testing training. So you're not actually doing any hands-on testing, but it's just a bit of concept of working around low voltage. And so even right down to the GOs and stuff on site.
Yeah.
So they know when to not move further with any type of investigation.
Yeah.
So like that, if you have like, say, a leak or anything like that in your ceiling, and it's around any type of electrical items, that they have some sort of basic concept in regards to not going any further with any type of manual investigation about the leak, potentially around electrical.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good one. We
did they touch on the lockout and tagout circuits and stuff like that, like that end of it, like as well?
So you'll work through the basics, obviously, letting people know about what type of voltages you could be dealing with in low voltage, you know what I mean, and the type of injuries and stuff. First of all, as well, that electricity can cause, like your first degree burns, second degree burns, and obviously third degree burns, and obviously death. Like obviously you can potentially come from that anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you're looking at first degree burns, which is like skin. So it's more of your skin burn. So it won't sort of penetrate beyond your skin. Kinda. So it'll take pretty much a burn off the top layer of your skin, like, which is sore enough anyway.
Yeah.
Second degree burns is bone level. So you're literally getting a burn through electricity that will actually burn right through your skin, right down to bone level, like, which is obviously horrifying.
Wouldn't be great, yeah.
Some of the pictures that we put up as well. But and then you've got your third degree, which is pretty much through your body. And so that's, entry and exit. Yeah. So, you've obviously seen the pictures when you'll see an entry point, somebody maybe potentially not wearing rubber shoes, and electricity has entered through their hand and has left through their toe or whatever, which is obviously potential because it'll run through your heart, and it'll probably, potential
path resistance and all of that, isn't it?
But, it's sort of not bad in a sense, working for a company of the size that I work for, it might feel below you because you're qualified as an electrician. So I know this stuff, you know what I mean? But it's a refresher just to...
Yeah, well, I would have said, maybe, I don't know how many of you, I'm sure all the electricians do it at some stage, but say if you had 50 electricians and maybe 10 of them took something away from it that they didn't know, it's a result in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, and it gets you thinking. It just opens up your mind that when you're working, out in a job, and you potentially get yourself in a position where, you wouldn't usually cut a corner.
Yeah.
And it might be offered up to you on a Friday afternoon, to just try and get out and get home. Yeah. That by doing that and making that decision and cutting that corner, you potentially might not get home,
Yeah, no, 100%.
But the LOTO, you mentioned there, obviously the LOTO, that's a major part of it. So they walk you through the steps of the LOTO. And people might just think, LOTO is, I'm going to throw a lock on an MCB and I'm just going to start working. But it doesn't. It starts even before that. So I think that there's 9 points that they go through. So the first one is having a voltage indicator. So a handheld voltage indicator.
So like a voltage stick or pen.
And an approved
initially.
one. Yeah, so a pen is not one that's being used. So an indicator, screwdriver and a volt pen are not considered approved. It's an actual handheld test unit that's like your Fluke or your Mega units.
Yeah, okay.
That have
2 probes.
Yeah, 2 probes on them.
Yeah.
And look, it's something that you could have a working test unit, but you need to prove that. So you need a good proving unit to go with that as well.
Yeah.
So having a proven unit, test your a tester, make sure that's working.
Yeah.
Once you're happy enough, that's your first step. You're done. You're moving on then to the means of disconnection. So your means of disconnection is identifying the circuit that needs to be disconnected. Yeah. So, lighting, stairwell circuit, breaker number 10.
Yeah.
MCB, 10 amp. Confirm it on the legend.
Yeah, confirm it at the
confirm
point.
it. You've isolated it and you've confirmed the power is off. So you've disconnected that.
Yeah.
So what you've done then is you're gonna, before you drop that breaker, confirm with the client. You could be on a building site that's all well and good. But might be nobody working there, might be no client in. But for maintenance with the company I work for, it's
essential loads and stuff.
Yeah, it's more crucial. You know what I mean? You could be working in an office where, you know, people are doing sales, and by you knocking off a certain breaker, you could be losing thousands and thousands of euro worth of sales for them. So you need to confirm with the client that is that time okay to turn the power off, or do they need to do it out of hours, or does it have to be scheduled? So once you've got that confirmation, you can switch it off and you can pretty much isolate load then to that circuit. So you've isolated the load to the circuit. Now you've got your lock. So what you want is a lock with an individual key that is only supplied to open that lock. You can't be using any locks where multiple keys can potentially open that lock. So if you get the right LOTO kit, they'll provide you with those locks that have individual keys. So what you'll do is you'll connect your LOTO to your breaker. You will then put your lock through it, and you'll put a warning label on it as well with information on it. Do not try to
turn the circuit
on, and then maybe some information on it regarding
who's locked it, and
maybe the details of contacts. Yeah, exactly. So you'll take the key then and you'll keep it on your person. So that's putting it in your pocket, keeping it secure.
You're responsible,
not handing it to anybody else, you know. 100%. So what you'll do then is you've tested your voltage indicator, you've confirmed the circuit, you've got your approval from the client, exactly, and you have locked out and tagged out. And what you'll do then is you'll go out into the field then and you'll go to work on that circuit, if it's a light or if it's a socket. What you'll do then is you're going to verify that the system is dead again, just to be sure. And that's getting your voltage indicator to check it. But what you'll do before you check that again is just confirm one last time
with the proven unit.
That your voltage indicator is good. Because you've walked from the switch room, potentially upstairs, potentially from multiple floors, even if it's a main switch room down on the bottom floor, and you could be working on a circuit that bouncing around in your pocket. And potentially there could be something wrong with that unit.
With the unit,
And when you go to test, you just want to confirm that it's definitely working properly, and you definitely confirm that.
Or like you know, mistake on your own part, maybe locked out the wrong wrong
and
switch.
by you going and just testing with that indicator on the socket or on the light, and it shows you that it's dead, it could potentially be the wrong circuit, like you said, that you've locked out. So by putting it into the proven unit one last time, you've covered every aspect of it. And what that's done for you there then is it's covered all points and protected not just the people that working with you, it's protected yourself. And you've also confirmed then as well, then obviously with the client then, that it's okay to knock off the power. Like, so you've every single aspect of the job covered off and no potential for any risk.
And then even in terms of appliances, a product that we've showcased and will showcase when we get here in the studio is the spur lock as well. So which could be used in conjunction with those procedures and steps.
Like I took a few notes down, like obviously while I was doing it, just so
they're easy.
Not even that. Like I could just potentially put something together for myself in the van, like a little kit. Like, so what I've actually got there behind you, like for anybody that's watching on the visuals on YouTube or on Spotify, is a test. It's a Lockout Tagout kit. So everything within that kit now is kept in the one position. So you've got your Lockout Tagouts for all types of MCBs. You've got your 3-phase ones, you've got your single-phase ones, and everything is in the one bag ready to go. So literally, like what you've taken down there, you've got like proven unit, tester, tags, red locks with unique keys. You've got clamps and pens. So it means that when you rock into any switch room,
you're not looking for a pen.
You're not looking for anything, you know what I mean? You're not stuck for anything then, because when you go to have to start searching for items, you're gonna skip a step, or you're gonna forget to do something, you know what I mean? So look, it's just something that obviously prominent now. We're in August and it's rolling up to September, which our good friend Richard Cockerline, he you know, pushes safe for September. There's a lot of guys, they'll be going around doing the trade shows in the UK and potentially at BPEX here in Ireland as well, where potentially people will promote that type of not just the step-by-step safety aspect of it, but it's just to get people aware.
I know it's good for us to share it here because, you know, when people are listening to a podcast, they might have more than, you know, like what are we on for half an hour? But when they're at the shows, they mightn't have that time to maybe stop at a stand for that long. At least, you know, prepare them going into the shows and, you know, potentially what they're going to be picking up. And as I said, we'll have the Spurlock kit in our possession in the next couple of weeks. So we will do a review on that and show where the applications where that's going to be, you know, it's going to be beneficial for everybody. So
look, I you know, certain aspects of these little courses, like obviously just raise awareness to you and they get you thinking and like that as well. Like it's just something where you'll leave then and you'll say to yourself little aspects of it where risk and health and safety comes into it is so important in your day-to-day work, like especially like when you're working on live sites like our live buildings that I'd be predominantly in, you know what I mean, especially where you know, potentially making one wrong move like could be fatal. A lot of guys that might be listening, I don't know, they could be starting off their apprenticeship, they could be working on sites like where they'll potentially spend a lot of their first half of their apprenticeship doing first fixing and don't actually realise the concept of the maintenance aspect of it, or going in and actually having to shut down systems and stuff, and one wrong move like could be fatal, you know,
and very costly.
Like they were saying, like it's, you know, all different types of effects, the risks and dangers. You have the shocks, you have the burns. You know, we've all had a shock here and there. Like I think burns are obviously the more serious aspect of it, like where you're going to be in hospital. There's going to be a lot of recovery time. There's going to be a lot of time out of work, potentially unpaid. Depending on whose fault it was, obviously, that done it.
And the steps that obviously you've been trained in.
And then there's the more higher risk where you're putting a lot more numbers in danger, where there's certain decisions that you can make on site that could potentially cause fires, you know. So there's the other aspect of it. I know we spoke about it before, like the importance of knowing about your ratings on breakers and stuff like that as well. You rock into a site and customers giving out, like saying sockets are tripping out, nuisance tripping all the time. You go in and you'll see, like I've come across it before myself, like, you know what I mean, where you'll have like a row of you know, 20 amp B type breakers, and all of a sudden then like you'll see like a 25 amp
D type or something.
There's something random in there, like a C type breaker in there, and it's still just a general services circuit, you know. And you're starting to think to yourself, has somebody altered the makeup of this circuit?
A load issue or something.
What you've done is you've actually altered the installation. And what it was set up for.
A correct installation as well, where it's probably tripping for a reason due to overload or overload on that circuit. Like at the end of the day, what we were saying earlier was that breaker has been put there to protect that cable. So in the case of the 20 amp, it's protecting a 2.5 cable. When you're upgrading that to 25 amp breaker, you should really, if that's the issue, you should be upgrading the installation of the cable to a 4 square or above, like, you know. So
the complete installation from point of exit of that board, like out to the last unit, point. It's needs a full upgrade. So like, you've literally like altered the circuit, which obviously then creates the danger then of potential overload issues, then burning, fire risk. Which then is putting everyone in danger then within that building, you know?
Environment, 100%.
Right down to depending on where that circuit actually runs through, you know what I mean? Does it run through storage rooms that could potentially have explosive items in it? So, you know, there's a lot to think about there, like when it comes to it. But it opens up your mind, like, I mean, right down to the basics, you know, of, you know, your RCDs and knowing your RCDs and what they're protecting and
trip times and
everything like that. Like, and it's I think it's something that a lot of companies should do maybe on an annual basis with their staff. It was a 50 multiple choice questionnaire at the end of mine, just to say that you were listening and you took everything in and you passed it at the end. But what it does then, it just gets your mind thinking, and like that, for me to be able to then like take a few notes then, literally just to maybe potentially put online if somebody asks a question, or if you see something online and you can share it through the podcast or share it through Instagram or TikTok if you see a conversation going.
Yeah.
I've always been a man for notes, like, you know what I mean? It's just something I learn visually.
What do you tell me every week when we're talking about ink and paper?
That's it. My manager has always said to me, paper doesn't refuse ink. And literally like that. That's for me now, to be able to write something down. It stays in my brain.
Yeah.
Not that I wouldn't have known it before, but it's just a concept.
Nice reference point there.
Yeah, your brain has a certain amount of storage space in it, and the more stuff that you're doing week to week,
it'll delete the other stuff. So
the fact that you're writing that down there then is just create a new file in the brain. Then it's just for a little while now it'll be prominent there.
Yeah, and, but you can always return to it on the page.
It might save your life as well. You know what I mean, or somebody else's life by just making the right decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I just think it comes down to then the whole permit end of it as well, and safe work plans and stuff like that. Like, but you then having a process like the LOTO process then creates then that LOTO process now has created a safe plan of action.
Yeah.
Because you've actually created a plan of action there, like, and then that then links into then the overall job, like, which then creates the job to not just be more safe, it's more professional for everybody looking then that comes in. Then if the client is coming in, or if it's any individual that's an employee of the customer that you're working for is passing, and they see that you've got a safe work plan and you're following it, it's going to make everybody feel a lot more safe, and that company is doing what they're supposed to do.
And that it even applies to us on a domestic level as well, because we're powering up sites, and maybe kitchens haven't gone in, or bathrooms aren't finished, and like generally what I'll do is I'll lock out the whole board. I'll lock off the mains.
Yeah.
And, I've often got messages from builders, taking a picture of the lock and saying, like, what's the crack here? I need power here. I need power there. And I'll always stand firm on that and say, look, you're not getting powered up until we say so, like, you know what I mean? Officially. So, not a great tool to have. And, the more use of them, the better, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I guess we'll just keep rocking on with the episode.
Good chat. And look, if lads can take something from that, and just to know, you should probably have a bag that size if you're going to be serious about it as well.
Yeah.
We have little mini ones as well that we give out to the lads, but like, maintenance, in the maintenance game anyway, you want to have, I don't know what you have in there, probably about 10 or 15.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to come across, you know what I mean? So you're covered, and like you said, you're not scrambling in the switch room, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, look, let's rock on with the episode, and I'll get talking to you on the next overload, I guess.
Deadly.
This is Insight, the Stripped Back podcast, sponsored by Robus Lighting, the world's leading LED lighting company.
And also brought to you in association with Snickers Workwear Ireland and Velocity Pro Gear.
Wayne, thanks for joining myself and Keith on the podcast. Prominent discussion to be had over apprenticeships right now. It's something that's at the forefront of the news and everything else at the minute, but you've set up a platform that is going to at least try to make things a little bit easier for the lads that are in the game right now. But to come on here and put yourself in front of the camera and talk to us, it's a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me, lads.
No, it's great. And even going through the platform, and like even in the sense of being a business owner, I'll always push the lads towards your platform, because it does have the options of, if you need grinds or you need a bit of information, it's there on the platform. Just makes it easy. It's a good one-stop shop kind of to go to if you're needing anything in terms of apprenticeships.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, well, look, what we usually do is with most of our guests is try to give people a bit of an idea of who they are and what sort of led them up to doing what they're doing now or doing what they're promoting now. And if you'd like to give our listeners a bit of an idea of who you are and what area you grew up in Ireland or Dublin, and what got you into doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. Well, I am from Sean McDermott Street, which is Dublin city centre.
Yeah.
I've lived there all my life. I went to school, my secondary school was Larkin. I say like most tradesmen, we all hated school. Despised it. Loved the sports aspects, it was amazing, but despised school. I was really bad at English. I'm part dyslexic. So I struggled big with English. And a lot of teachers used to make me stand up and read out in front of everyone. And you know yourself, it just knocks you. You know?
Yeah, confidence.
You just don't want to go to school then, you know. So did that. I always knew I wanted to be a mechanic. Got to 5th year, told them what I was leaving school. Didn't go down well. She absolutely told me she doesn't want a son out in the dole, which obviously I had no interest in going on the dole. So had many arguments with her. Eventually, I left school. Within the day I left school on a Friday, I was in the Foss Centre on the Monday. And with that, I hated that. Because there was lads sitting there smoking weed, nothing that I actually wanted to do. So the following day, on Tuesday, I got a job in East Wall, with a panel beater. So the panel beater put me on work for him for a couple of months, which was Stewart's. Place is gone now, full of apartment blocks. But Stewart's put me onto my garage, which was Courtney Motors in the North Strand. And I served my time there. Great place, great lads. Really good at helping apprentices.
It's mechanic apprenticeship.
Mechanic apprenticeship, yeah. So they were great help, lots of abuse. Very naive, you know. So I was so naive. I left school to get away from the college part of it. I didn't want to be in college. I did not know coming into an apprenticeship, you have to go back to college. Yeah. So that's how naive I was when I left. So I did that for a couple of years. I did start in 2008, finished in 2012-ish. Went to Australia for a bit. Loved it. Come back. I set my arse. I got very lazy for a good 6 months. It was knocked. It was like, come back from the high from Australia. Was on a low, drinking a little bit, wasn't great. I met my current girlfriend, Niamh, and I wanted to better myself. That was the main thing, because who wants to be a waster, basically, you know?
Right.
So Niamh helped me get back on my feet. Went back to be a mechanic for 6 months, and I fell out over. I couldn't stand that anymore. The long hours, the hard work, it was filthy. After that, I decided I wanted to be an electrician, because I worked through the whole recession, which was great. Worked through the whole recession, and then as soon as everybody started making money, sites passed me instantly. People were back on site and making twice as much money, half the work. You know, not knocking lads on site, but just being a mechanic is hard work, you know. Yeah. So I decided I was going to be an electrician. Big leap of faith, went for it. Landed on my feet, jumped in a couple of crowds. The main places were all industrial work. So the industrial work was fairly good. Did that for another probably 4 years, obviously. 5 years, got qualified because of the backlogs. And then I fell into the rail. So we're in the rail, global rail then. And as I was still working with the rail, I decided to go do an engineering degree. So I did an industrial engineering degree in Tallaght University. Did that for 2 years. Kind of liked it. I'd like to know more about it. I'm not knocking the course, but it didn't satisfy me. I didn't come out any more knowledgeable than I went in. You know, so still haven't progressed into that field, engineering field yet. Still trying. But did that. After that, did a couple of other things. Did some finance management and project management. And still in the rail, left global. Currently with Irish Rail, and I'm finishing up in the 8th of September. I start my new job at Altram, which we're all going to be working on the new Dart Plus, building the new Dart Plus for obviously Dublin and of course Ireland. So that is my work background.
It's mad to think though, like, you know, for somebody who had a focus on getting out of the school system, but couldn't help yourself constantly repeating back into it later in your, like, obviously career based, but it's the difference, isn't it, of having a focus on a certain sector or subject that's actually going to better yourself in something you enjoy, rather than, you know, being in a full setting, not getting probably the correct type of schooling or teaching based on say learning difficulties or whatever, you know.
So basically, when we were in school, most people don't like school. You're in a class, talk about subjects you're not really interested in it. You go to your trade, like, depending on the trade you do, you lean into it because you kind of, it's something you want to do, you know. The thing I found about the trades was that every time I finished my trade, I kind of felt down. Like, I know it's a silly thing to say. It was an achievement. The achievement was over. It was like, what do I do now? Yeah. I've spent all these years. I got to me high, and then the high was over. So that was a big thing for me, especially in mechanics then, because I felt a big low after I qualified. I was like, I have to get to do this for the rest of my life. Nobody told me I could change. You know what I mean? Like, nobody needs to tell me that, but in my own mind, I was like, no one told me. Most people get trade. That's it. You do it the rest of your life, and then or start a business and that. But that was it. I was like, and then like something clicked. I was like, why don't I just change a job? You know. So once I did that, it led on to that anything is possible. So the mechanics, I failed my basics twice, and I say I got through skin of my teeth on the third try, and I said he probably gave it to me. I says, let him through. You know what I mean? Just let him pass.
Say sick of saying him.
Yeah, he's back again. Let him through. But then when I fell onto electrical, then I stood my brains up. I passed everything. I got stations and everything. I worked hard because I wanted it. You know, it's different in that sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The electrical side of it it's decent. You know.
It's for us. It's great to put a face to the platform. And a face, I know we were mentioning earlier on, you haven't done a lot of like being behind the camera and all that kind of stuff, but I think it'll instill a lot of confidence in any young lad or young one looking to go on the platform and receive a bit of help, because as you've said there, like, you know, not only did you do one apprenticeship scheme, you did two, and then you've got jumped into the engineering. You're on global. You've worked for Global Rail. You're on the rail line now as well. So you might as well say you've been in four or three or four different, you know, industries. Yeah. So to put your face to it and tell your story, it instills a bit of more confidence in everyone to go to the platform and say, like, this lad that actually has lived it. Do you know what I mean? And like, as I said, the grinds and all, you might have availed the grinds and all yourself, and you've probably seen a gap there where if we can get a bit of information up for people, it'd be just a nice little hub for apprentices to go to and get a bit of help, you know?
The grinds part of it, what I'd love to do is, obviously I do enjoy doing the grinds, but what I'd love to do is eventually have the grinds for free. So if I got something behind me, or even depending on my job, if I had enough job, I'd probably do the grinds for free. Obviously, lump of lads together, do one day a week, get as many people on, and stuff like that. Even down to the accommodation at the moment, I charge people. I don't charge apprentices. Everything's free. Other than the grinds at the moment because it's taking up my own time. But everything else is free for an apprentice. Even I think that accommodation, I'm gonna make it free going forward. Leaning on it more, just gets more people in. I get more people from around the country, and then it's not like, oh, what if I can't get there? And what if, like, there's still some places I haven't covered. That Cork is one of them. Many people text me, I just don't have anybody. Yeah. But if I lean more on the free aspect of it, I should draw more people in.
Yeah.
That's what I'm leaning more at to now. And then all I have to cover for the end of the year is the site, the cost to run the site, which is not a whole lot of money. Yeah. And I've no interest, I've no problem doing that once I'm walking away, you know? Yeah. And that side of it. So that's what I'm going to lean more for now, hopefully in the future. Not yet, but it's what I want to do, you know? Yeah,
100%.
Have you had any feedback from the lads on the ground regarding the page and its potential?
Not really. See, it's still quite slow at the moment. Like the Facebook page is quite big. There's 26, it's gone probably 27,000 before Christmas, which is great. So I haven't got much feedback in that side of it. But the lads in the group are amazing. I used to answer loads of questions at the start. Now the platform runs itself.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's yapping to everybody. It's great. You can do that. You can't do that. There's obviously some lads taking the piss, like always. Like it's like being on site. Some lads are going to say some things. You know, you have to man you. Sometimes you have to delete the comment. Can't be saying stuff like that. You know, you can't be racist. You can't be sexist.
It's something like obviously very prominent. Like I mentioned at the start of the interview there, that the apprenticeship system, the electrical one, a lot of people have probably been scaremongered now, like through certain pages online that are not reputable.
Yeah.
Lads putting comments up about apprenticeships being cancelled and you know, putting fear into people, and the likes of your page, like with your community that's there, like, and you being able to post maybe a bit more realistic information on there is definitely something that I think people need right now, because it's somewhere that people can get legitimate information from. Is that something that you saw yourself having to do, like when you set up the page, like that you actually have to start putting out fires?
So how I thought the page was going to go, all I set the page up was for, so I seen a gap in the system. So the gap in the system was, I found out that other colleges were issued digital, say, notes, and I'd ring up someone and goes, "You're not going through the notes." And some issued books. Grange Gorman issued our books. The books are amazing, especially for the electrical side. I read through all the books. I was like, "You don't get books." And lads from the country were like, "I don't get books. We just take notes." What do you mean you don't take? What do you mean you just take notes? Yeah, we just take notes. I was like, "Do you not get any books?" He was like, "No, we don't give books for obviously phase 4 and 6. 2 you get your startup books, you know. For 4 and 6 it's all handwritten." I was like, "That's a bit silly." So I goes, "Give me your email." Like at the time it was in Grange Gorman. I think it was phase 6 at the time. "Give me your email. I'll send you, like, we can download our stuff. I'll send you that." So I sent it all down. I was like, "This is amazing." Like, you know, just go through it. And it was all categories. This is amazing. And I was like, "Yeah, it's good, like, you know." And then I just kind of clicked. I was like, why isn't this everywhere?
Yeah.
So I started with that and started sharing notes around everything. Sulis didn't approve that recently, so we stopped sharing notes and questions, which is fine. They asked me to stop, so I had to stop. They tried to sue me, so I just hold my hands up. So yeah, it's no problem. You don't share information. That's totally fine.
What's in the books, or is it because it's personal notes?
I think because it was theirs. Like, so.
Oh, sorry.
So it was their information I was sharing. I wasn't trying to copyright anything. Everything was just literally copy. And someone sent me something, I would pass it on. I was like, this could help that person.
So if you had time, like we had something similar with a fella in the UK that we're fairly friends with, and he's been on the podcast, like Ricky Byrne. He's taken notes through training providers in the UK, and similar to yourself, like got a bit of backlash from the training providers where he was trying to work around it then, where he'd have to take the notes, rewrite them in his own form, and then put them back out there. Is that something you could do probably through ChatGPT or something?
I could. That's 100% a way you could go, but then it's Sulis. Like, you know, it's government, so it's funded by the government. You're going up against the big fish.
Somebody that you want probably, as your page has grown, to be at least supporting you. So to work with them now, maybe, and maybe get a bit of a conversation going, maybe. I
would love to work with Sulis. If they want to reach out to me, I'm totally fine. Like, if there's some stuff that being posted on the page that's not, say, up to their level, or they don't want stuff like that posted, talk to me. I'm here. Like, the only reason I'm doing it is to help other people, and if I can help other people through the page, which is great. But Sulis didn't like sharing that information. That's fine. I stopped that. But then after that, so that was recently. But the reason that I started it, shared the notes, and then I just thought people are giving out about accommodation. Sorry, not accommodation. Getting sent all over the country. So I did both. I was lucky enough. So I got Dublin for all mine. So somewhere in Dublin, which was great for mechanics and electrical. I knew someone in there for the mechanics, and then when I went to electrical, it was just like I had to turn it down once, but he got back to me within a month and get me somewhere in Dublin, which was great. But then we have lads that, especially now, renting, and then being shipped down to pay a second rent, and you still have a family. Some people have family at home that still have to eat, feed, and pay. Sure, rent is through the roof now. 15
bills, electricity, whatever else.
Everything's gone through the roof. So you're paying double rent, And I know you get an extra 70 quid off Sullus. It's not going to cover.
Wouldn't cover your diesel down.
No, you know, and that's route driving down. An extra 70, 80 quid on top of that to get your digs, and then the fuel for the week, and then you're paying 2 homes. And so another thing came to this: why don't I just put up swaps? So I started putting up swaps on the page, and it was just diabolical. I said swaps available, and you had every trade from phase. Commented on it 2, 4, 6, and it was just a disaster. And I was like, right, that's not going to work.
Right.
So I had to come up with a different way. So I started sectioning them off with trades. So you had carpentry, plumbing, electrical, and then I'd break it down to phases.
The phases, yeah.
So make sure you note that you're phase 2, phase 4, phase 6 through that. And that's what I do now with the page as well. So you click onto the page, it'll give you your apprenticeship, pick the apprenticeship, they'll bring you back to our Facebook page. Just makes it easier again.
Yeah.
Throw in your details, and hopefully someone can contact you and you can work out a swap between the two yourselves. But that was the thing, and hopefully save money. So,
save a ball of money.
Yeah, ball of money, especially the traveling.
It's nuts, like, because you think about the way the whole industry has gone now, like, and everybody is utilising social media and utilising the community on social media to learn, like, and sort of, you know, better themselves and even grow themselves, like, professionally. And the fact you've got the biggest, probably, you know, learning provider in the country not utilising or not being forward thinking, and to see that they've got somebody here doing the hard work for them, and that they should utilise it, you know.
Yeah, any complaints about the swaps? From Sullus?
Not directly to me, anyway.
No, because it's kind of beneficial for them as well.
Beneficial
in terms of funding.
Obviously, the apprentice, but I've heard a lot of feedback of people giving out, whether it's training advisors have to contact other training advisors, swap details, a little more work on their end.
God love them, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some of the training advisors don't even pick up their phone. From what I'm told, I've no experience in that, but my training advisors were actually great. Lucky enough.
Sure, Sullus would be happy enough with it though, you know, as in terms of paying out travel and stuff like that. If they can.
Sure. I went to Sullus back in. I went to somebody head up in Sullus back in 2018 when I started lecturer apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And I built up a folder, and I had a picking system. So if you give me your apprentice number, they're all in dates. You give me your apprentice number. I could start with that. Give me your trade. Give me 3 locations where you prefer to go. Obviously, the best one you want, the second closest one, and then obviously 2 of them being the furthest away. And I offered her all up. Thought it was a great idea, and I just got a thanks. I was like, well done for coming up with an idea. Yeah. And the figures I had at the time was probably saving. So I was going with, I think it was 20,000 apprentices in Ireland at that time, 2019. If half of them, because half of my class at the time were in digs, so I put it down to half over 4 years, and I went up to like 8.5 million. What would have been saved on just digs alone by that. Now I know that probably at that time there was more maybe electricians, and probably wouldn't work in certain areas, but at some stage it probably would have saved a decent amount of money and stop all the swapping. You know, it probably cut out majority of the swapping going from here to there. Yeah. Well, I just got a thanks for thinking of ideas while doing apprenticeship, and that's what knocked me back till a couple of years to start the Facebook page. And it was like, all right, that's it. It's the end of that. But the Facebook page kicked off, and it's going quite well.
That's a deadly thing, isn't it?
Definitely is. It's definitely something that I think even when we were doing our apprenticeship, I was similar to yourself. I got lucky and got Dublin.
Yeah.
But talking to other lads when you're back on site and they're saying they're heading off across the country, and they try to big it up and they say they had the great time, it was party central and all that, like, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to really maybe let you know like that.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, you know what I mean?
Stuck in a box on your own for depending on 6 months,
10
weeks or 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Like I went down, worked down south for a month. I was in a box room on my own. I hated it. We didn't go to the pub, start drinking all day. They're all drinking.
Yeah.
You know, and some lads do like it, some lads don't. You know, it's not, it wasn't for me.
Especially when you're from Dublin as well. There's a lot more to do in Dublin than there is, you know, out in the sticks.
Yeah.
Would you have like a batch of obviously you have the page now on Facebook, and obviously the numbers speak for themselves, like with the community that's on there. But then obviously you'll pop in and you'll be able to jump into conversations and be able to see what's going on because you're moderating it. But do they work like a testimonial for yourself, like to be able to maybe package stuff together if you are going to potentially step in front of one of these like training providers and say, look, this is what I potentially have here. I've got the community of people here with this information of what's really happening out there in the field. They can either turn a blind eye to it. They probably know what's going on, but to see it out there, the likes of, you know, this podcast, potentially newspapers, radio stations, I've seen you posting there, obviously Red FM looking for people to come on. The likes of your voice on there, would that be something that you'd like to do and actually get out and advocate for people? I
wouldn't mind it. As I said, this is a big thing. This is me stepping out from the camera is a big thing. I don't do it at home. I'm going to try doing more. It's a big thing. As you said, seeing you doing that possible. You're putting yourself out there, you know? Yeah. Whether it's good or bad, you're still putting yourself out there. Some of the issues aren't great for apprentices. A lot of the issues aren't great for apprentices. And like there's unions out there are trying to do, you know, I'm not knocking any unions. They're all trying to do their bit. But more needs to be done, especially the price of everything going up. You know, the cost of living. Like, there's a lad, I think, I was reading one today or yesterday about a lad on €6 an hour. And he was complaining, which is understandable. €6 an hour. I can't remember what trade he was on, but €6 an hour. He's doing 40 hours a week. He's coming out with, I think it was 200 and something. He's posted. And he says, I can get more for staying at home. Yeah. And it's not a nice thing to say. Now, I know the whole reason of the cheap labour for an apprentice is to get the employer in, you know, pick an apprentice because it's cheap labour. And like I did it, you did it, it's part of it. But the cost of living is through the roof at the moment, and I've heard that the unions are working on something trying to get the minimum wage, but whether that's going to be across just all the big companies, it's going to be hard for the domestic lads to try to keep up with 13 euro an hour for lads are not working at 13 euro standard, you know. In any trade, that like it'll kill anybody, you know. But I don't know what something has to be done, and like even down to that 40 million that was apparently given back now to Sulis, or given to Sulis to sort the issue in the next month or two. Like the funding is not there anymore. Yeah, and
that's money given back that probably should have already been pumped in.
Yeah, they gave it a kind of a burst there at one stage, but then like falling into then, wouldn't it? Yeah, like then just like if they kept up that pace, you know what I mean? It'd solve a whole lot of problems, like, you know. We're kind of just falling back into the same old habits or tricks. You know, be grand, yeah. Like just in terms of day to day with us, like it's the difference between getting a date for your apprentice and not getting a date. You know, like a couple of months ago, you were able to get nearly the exact day they were going in, and now it's undisclosed. You can't get the date anymore. So
keeping lads in the apprenticeship as well, like, you know what I mean. It's disheartening for somebody that's registered with a business and waiting to take that next step, like in their journey as an apprentice, and next minute they're being told, like, you know, delay. At what point did he turn around and say, you know what, screw this?
Like, it's someone's life. Like, it's time. Like, everyone says, always plenty of time. But there's only so many years. And your apprentice was meant to be 4. Like, I know 5 is touching, but it's time. It's an extra year here, or working in Dublin or one of the other counties, or holding back a lad that wants to go foreign to try something new. Yeah. You know, you see a lot of people commenting, like, I'm waiting. Like, I want to live. Yeah. And you're stuck in that. And then it falls into, like, we all fail exams. Don't let failure hold you back. I've failed. You know what I mean? And I've pushed through it, you know? And when you fail, are you going to be thrown back to the next batch? They're going to...
Yeah, where are you in the line then again?
Are you going to drop down to the bottom of that line because you failed? Some lads now I've talked to got lucky and jumped straight back in where they should have been, but other lads probably missed the boat, you know.
And there's other things then as well, like in terms of if you're in your phase 2 and like you do well in your phase 2, and then you've too much of a gap between that and going back into phase 4, you're kind of out of that academic mindset as well.
it's a big step. Like going from phase 2, tick the box, to going into writing questions on it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you do a junior or you're leaving cert, there's no tick the box at all. You know, you have to write it down what the answer is. Like I went to phase 2 and both of them, and I looked at it and goes, "Oh, that sounds like it." Because once you read it, you go like, "That's
you get a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, it comes to you.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting in an exam and you've just a blank piece of paper and you're like, "Oh no."
Yeah, you have to articulate what the answer is. Yeah.
So, and some people fall under pressure. You know.
Yeah.
So that's another thing as well.
No, look, Wayne, I think you're verbally well prepared, I think, to put yourself out there in front of the camera. You're definitely onto something that has the potential to be not just something that's great for apprentices, and I know you're looking and you want to make it free and you want to build that community, but there's potential there for this to be something that can
the employers to go to
the
even,
employers and that can start generating revenue, which will help the page grow and potentially like give you something that will reward you for the hard work that you're putting into it down the line if you see that, you know, and you want it, you know. But, you know, from having employers obviously jumping on and looking for apprentices, having guys jumping on and looking for grinds, even, you know, giving apprentices help, like maybe even getting, you know, lessons with driving lessons and everything, because lads want to get on the road, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The potential there is endless, I think. For
it is endless. Like it's all trades, whether it's tools, you can fall into tools, you can fall into insurance, you can fall into home insurance because people advertising their homes on it. It can cover anything, you know. So there's major possibilities there, you know. It's just then willing to grab them and move forward with them.
Right time in it as well, isn't it? It's just perfect timing for it, like
getting the acceptance from the higher powers that be as well. Like it's only a platform, like, you know what I mean? It's only trying to help everybody. So I don't see, you know, the problem, if you know what I mean. So
I'm not trying to undermine Sulis or anybody.
It's far from it. No,
like I'm not out to hang anybody or say that they're not doing their job right or he's not doing his job right. I'm there to help.
The collective,
help, you know. That's all it was, especially with the notes.
Yeah.
There was lads texting me for months and I just had to keep texting them back. I said, I can't give you anything. I says, if like they're all deleted. So if it was to start again, I have to start from scratch and then everyone's feed me again for all the information. Everything's deleted. I even got lads who I worked with and they were like, can you send me this? And I said, I can't send you anything. I don't have it.
I haven't got anything anymore.
And if I was to send it, I said, put myself at risk. I can't do that.
Yeah,
you know? For the sake of help, I know I want to help. I said, I'll help you, come to me.
I'll go through with you.
If you're struggling, I'll help any way I can. But I don't have anything to send you. I says, if I did, I wouldn't. I says, because if somehow it fell back, I said, you sued.
It's bad though, isn't it? Like it's the book or nothing. Do you know what I mean? And like we've always said, like people learn in different ways. Like, you know what I mean? Notes are the backbone of it. Like I still revisit my notes from years ago as well. Like because it's, you know, it's in highlighter and it's the things that I specifically need for domestic or whatever.
But it's just it is
annoying, isn't it?
It's putting it down to maybe an ignorance on the part of the individuals not actually understanding what you're trying to do, and it's the likes of this and like what I said, putting yourself out there, getting the conversation going and actually putting it to the people in power to just listen. All you have to do is listen to a 30 to 40 minute podcast episode and actually hear about the guy behind it and what your goals are for it. And then it becomes a bit more of an open conversation and a bit of trust. Like, well, that guy's actually well spoken. He's got,
he's not
trying to do us. He's got apprentices in mind and he's got the system in mind, and all he wants is a well-oiled machine. Excuse the pun of the mechanics, but that's what you're looking for. You know what I mean? And fair play to you. I think it's something that I think myself and Keith will want to help you with, back you. Yeah. And if you have anything that you want to come on here at any time down the line, share, update, or push through our platform.
We're going to start sharing the notes now, aren't we?
They're deleted.
Another thing, someone sent me an ETB. ETB have their own section of notes now, which I've gone.
Okay.
And then another section is, so can I, this is the worrying thing now. It's like, so if I share this Am I exposing myself to get into trouble?
Well, you can share a link, can you?
But can I?
I don't know.
I'm putting.
Don't ask me.
But
well, that's it. You're putting the question now to at least.
Yeah, somebody listen out. If I can share a link, or like I know the ETBs. If someone sent me an ETB link and you can go onto it and you can find some carpentry questions or books, mechanics.
Well, there you go. Look, right, for this conversation right now, right? You can look down the lens. This is going to be tagging Sulis ETBs. It's going to go up on LinkedIn. It's going to go up on all social media platforms. Wayne Ahearn, Apprentice Ireland. You are looking to support the apprentices, and ETBs have made notes available through their platform. And all Wayne is looking to understand, and I think every apprentice would like to know, can links to
training notes
be shared across social media platforms? Otherwise, what are they up there for?
Yeah, 100%. And throw it to the webpage. Just because you throw it in any or some of our socials can get lost, especially the group. Just to have there, and I can point someone in the direction. I can tell every person, but you only reach so many. So 10,000 would see it, but the other 10 won't. You know, you know yourself on social media, you'll hit.
You're not going to stand outside like ETBs and start telling people about it. You know what I mean? You have a social media platform, and it has a higher reach. That's what it's for.
It's a landing page. Yeah. Most difficult question.
Most difficult one, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the other bits were a bit more difficult, but we have a Spotify playlist for this season. Right. What would your song of choice? What are you listening to at the moment?
It's an old song. I'm always listening. I'm terrible at names. I've saved it, and it is called. Is it Halo? Way Down We Go.
Way Down We Go. Yeah.
You got it, yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody's put it on, so we definitely put it on there. Yeah.
Definitely that one.
Yeah, go for that. Sound.
Enjoy it.
Really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy that. It's
it's important.
Yeah, highlighting things, and that's what we want to do here. So fair play to you, Wayne.
Cheers. Right, season 7, episode 8, in the can. What an episode.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. We've been talking to our special guest, Wayne, for quite a while now, and been looking to get him in. As he said himself, it's probably one of his first outings in front of the camera, so we're more than privileged to have him on. He's providing, as we were saying, a much-needed platform for apprentices, for information, grinds, accommodation, and any kind of information relating to their apprenticeship. So just want to thank him for jumping on with us, and as you said, we'll back him to the hilt, and fair play to him.
Yeah, and look, it's always good sitting down with yourself, having a chatting shit, as you said. And look, a lot of important information put out there, stuff that we've heard before, and obviously we've recycled before and probably on other episodes, but it's important stuff that could potentially save your life or save somebody else's life and get them home at the end of the day. So
yeah, no, 100%. And like we were talking during the week, and you mentioned that you were going on the course, and I think it's very progressive what the company are doing for you is to, just refresh the safety aspect of your job, because I know it's big fish you're playing with. It's not one bed apartment. It's big company. So no, look, I enjoy it, and hopefully we'll get a chance to do more of it throughout this season and beyond. But look, like we always say, I want to thank our sponsor, Robus Lighting, the world's leading LED lighting company, for their continued support. And a special mention to Snickers Workwear Ireland and Velocity Pro Gear for their continued support also. Yeah, and if you liked what you heard, make sure you head over to wherever you get your podcast. Give us a follow to be notified when the next one drops. Take it easy. Talk to you next week.